and then we'll move on today. What do you guys think of the water boy scene from yesterday? You like that? You missed it, Dom. We watched the water boy. You ever see that movie? You never saw it? Yeah. Oh, okay. It's a good movie. Oh, American history. All right. Oop. There it is. Where are we at? All right. Describe the basic functions of the brainstem. There we go. Basic functions of the brainstem. Good stuff. Okay, good. Done already? Complete sentences?
What's up?
Complete sentences? All right. All right. Zerby, how we doing?
Great.
I'm going to give this back to you. Well, try to get more. I know that's a lot, but I think it's just fair for everybody. Alrighty, so what do we got? Describe the basic functions of brainstem. What do we have here? What do we have? Rooster, go ahead, man. Oh, you coulda if you wanted to. If you want to get real crazy with it.
I just said basically, it's like it basically holds parts of our brain that allow us to perform our basic functions like sleep and also
Yeah, good job. So if you said the crossover point, right, where the nerves kind of cross over into the parts of the brain, right, connecting the spinal cord, right, and our nervous system, that would be good. Okay, the basic functions. And like you mentioned, Rooster, good job with the involuntary movements, involuntary functions that we don't have to think about doing. So blood pressure, heart rate, respiratory system, cardiac system, you name it. Okay, we don't have to think about it. It just happens automatically. And that's pretty much the basic functions of the brainstem I want you to know. All right, good. So now we're moving into it. Medulla, what is that? What does the medulla do? You know? You kind of said it.
okay, yeah, it helps like basic functions. It helps. I know it's
Yeah, okay. So respiratory system, right? Breathing, okay. Heart rate, blood pressure, okay. So things that happen just automatically. And where is it located on the brainstem? Yeah, it bulges out just a bit, right? Okay, and it's right at the base of the brainstem. Okay, good job. And then we talked about the pollens. What are the pollens? What are the pollens? Maria? Saw you glance up. I'm sorry. What are the pollens? What do they do?
Help you relay signals to the cerebellum that deals with movement as well as sleep, respiration,
All right. So the pause is like facial expressions, right? This is it literally means bridge. Okay, it's a bridge, obviously to the cerebellum, to the the midbrain, and yeah. So salivation, tear production, facial expressions, like I said. Okay, those are the basic functions, right, of the pons. Good. Remember, bridge. That's what it means. Particular formation, Forney.
The formation of the connected nuclei that are located across the brain. And it's located in like many different parts of the brain.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So it kind of branches up into the brainstem, and it's like almost like a pencil shape in a way. And its basic function just keep the brain alert and awake, right? Okay. Good job. All right. Moving on now. Thalamus. Last thing we went over. What is the thalamus? What does that do? What does the thalamus do? Willy Wonka. You got a good lift in last period. Oh yeah. Okay. Good. Good stuff.
Okay, so it's the central processing chip, like, well, it can be compared to like the central processing chip of the computer, and it directs all incoming and outgoing sensory and motor traffic except for smell.
Yeah, good job, good job. So it's like the mailman in a way, right? He's grabbing all the mail, he's directing the information to the brain or to the rest of the body. There's that central processing chip. Good. All right, so it's directing information, sensory, motor, okay, information to the rest of the body or to the brain. All right, yeah, and you said except for smell, right? Okay, good job. All right, is there any questions on that? Good? All right, so let's pull out that worksheet real quick. I just want to show the locations. We already described them already, and we'll move on. So the brainstem, this was yesterday, Monday 11/16. Oh, today's. All right, so at the bottom here, let's start off. Rooster, go ahead. You said it earlier. The medulla, right? Yeah. Why alligators are so ornery? Because they have all them teeth and no toothbrush, right? Yeah, good stuff. All right, the medulla, and we talked about that already. So breathing, okay, blood pressure, heart rate. Moving on here, pencil shape. Cody, what is this? What is this right here in the brainstem?
Reticular formation.
Oh, good work, sir. Yeah, good job. Reticular formation, and it keeps the brain awake and alert, right? All right, moving on here. Alex, what do you have? This really big bulge here means bridge. The pons, good work, good work. And the pons do what? Facial expression, right? Tears, salivation, you name it. And finally, at the top, Rebecca, what do we have? The thalamus, good job. As you see, it's branching up into the limbic system, which we'll talk about today. And what's another name for the brainstem? Derby. The hindbrain, yep, good job. And we're going to talk about the midbrain today, okay, with the limbic system and what basic functions that has in different parts of it. All right, is there any questions on that? We good? So remember, all creatures, all organisms have this basic brainstem structure. Obviously, with humans, we've adapted and evolved to the point where we have more capability with our brain, with the limbic system, and moving on to the cerebral cortex. And we can understand different language, comprehend it. Okay, we can think rationally, and yeah, there we go. All right, moving on. What do I want to go over next? Oh, vocab. How about I give you one song worth? I know you have a lot of vocab terms. We'll finish those up. How about how about we have them do for Friday? Does that work? And I'm thinking about that orange brain surgery. I don't know if we'll be able to do it. I'm gonna have to think how we could. Just with everything going on right now, it's gonna be tough to do it just to get in groups and go over it. So maybe we might scratch that. I'll have another activity for you though. I think you'll enjoy it. Okay, one song. You got it. One song. Remember, current events, we got Casey and Layla. So if you're watching it, make sure you remember Friday, current events. Just film it. You don't have to be in the video, just your voice. You describing what's going on. All right, that's it. That's it. Okay, moving on here. Real quick, I want to go over the limbic system, get you working on your activities so you don't have any homework. How about it? Cool stuff, right? What do you think, Dom? Yeah. Okay. Let me pull this up. Oh, not American history. I don't want that. All right, now, anyway. Where is it? There it is. All right, so we're working our way up, right? We just talked about the brainstem. Okay, we talked about how its basic functions, right, is this involuntary movements and really just controlling and pushing the nerves up into our brain. Okay, it's just kind of the bridge from our spinal cord, right, our nervous system up into the brain. And last thing, I forgot to go over it with you, cerebellum. What is a cerebellum? What is a cerebellum? Katie, go ahead.
It's the little brain that helps balance you.
Yeah, good job. So they call it the little brain, right? Okay, it just kind of branches off the brainstem right below the cerebral cortex on the back of your brain, right in the back of your head. And that helps with balance, movement. Okay, like you said, good job. And I mentioned yesterday, right, with alcohol, you consume too much of it, it will cause issues and balance coordination issues when you're with your cerebellum. What's so funny, Rooster? What, huh? Oh, okay, okay. Laugh it up, man. Laugh it up. Okay, limbic system, real quick here. Okay, I want to go over just basic functions of it, basic parts. Okay, and yeah, we'll move on so I can work on your graphic organizer. So limbic system's the middle layer of the brain, okay, called the midbrain for a reason, right? It's like that inner bladder inside the cerebral cortex. Okay, this branches from the brainstem as well. So the brainstem comes up, right, and then you have the limbic system, which kind of folds around it, right? The limbic system kind of folds around it. And you have the cerebral cortex on top, kind of covering the limbic system. But they call it the midbrain because it's in the middle, right? It's inside of the cerebral cortex, kind of connects to that brain stem. All right, so it wraps around the thalamus, which we know is what? What does the thalamus do again, Lily?
The thalamus is like the central processing chip computer that directs all incoming and outgoing messages.
You got it. Awesome, good job. So that central process computer, it's really directing these incoming messages from the body, that sensory information. Okay, and obviously that motor. The motor neurons, the information sent from the brain to the rest of the body, it's processing that. It's directing it towards where it needs to go. All right, good job. But the limbic system, main functions, make sure you remember this, guys. So if it's like on a short answer, the main functions of the limbic system is memory and emotion, okay? So I know with the brain, it's a little hard to understand still today with all the technology that we have, where a lot of these different functions are located in the brain, where it's processed in the brain. But for the most part, we narrowed it down to the limbic system, the midbrain, where we can understand where emotion and memory is located. You guys got that? Again, it's still a big question mark. Still really hard to study the brain. Now, with the technology we have today, which we'll talk about towards the end of the chapter, we can kind of study it a little bit better and understand the brain more. But still a big question mark. But memory, emotion, basic functions. So limbic system, okay. It really expands the functions of the brain stem. Like I said, the brain stem comes up, the limbic system kind of wraps around it like an inner bladder of the brain, and the cerebral cortex kind of sits on top, right? And basic functions, like I said, with emotions and memory, okay? So my biggest thing here with food especially, I love food, right? We walk into pizza shop, Pizza Delight, right? And you go into Pizza Delight, you smell the aroma of it. You kind of know what you want to get already. You have basic experiences, memories with a certain item on their menu. Let's say chicken parm. I don't know, you guys make chicken parm? Yeah. So last time you were there, you had a great chicken parm. You smell the aroma of it. It's like, you know what? This is kicking back my memories, my experience with it. I know I'm going to have a good meal just with some of these basic memories and experiences, what we have. It kind of builds into emotion too, of getting a little giddy about it, right? And getting a little giddy about eating, getting pumped up, right? Like these pizza sticks that you get at lunch. What is for lunch today? You don't know. Ooh, French toast sticks. Good stuff. Good stuff. Maple syrup, huh? All right, so the hippocampus. The hippocampus are like these arms, these branches that come from the hypothalamus, okay? They branch off of the hypothalamus, which we'll talk about here soon. But the hippocampus, its main job is to connect your present with your past memories. So like I said before, when you go into a store, you go into a restaurant, right when you smell certain aroma, or you know exactly what you want to eat, okay, because of your past memories. We're branching that off of it, and we're building our emotions that's going to predict our behavior because of these past experiences, these past memories that we may have had. For me especially, there's a part where someone crashed into my car up in Higgins. There's like a four-way, and you come up a hill, and you just stop there at the stop sign. And for cars, they always cut the corner too hard. That's always my biggest fear. Someone just cutting the corner, coming to my lane. And that's what happened there at the stop sign. So I try to avoid it at all times. It's like, oh, I'm relating my present and past memories to really predict my behavior, what might happen. So I go the alternate route, even though it's like 2 miles out of the way. I don't trust really anybody coming around that corner. So the hippocampus, again, it presents your past memories that are in relationship with your present memories, okay? And with driving especially, that's always something I try to relate with my past memories. Where to go, okay, direction. And in that case, when someone crashed into me, it's like I'm trying to avoid that of all times because I remember what happened before. And I even gave the guy like 10 yards. It's unbelievable. Still came flying into my lane and smashed me. Yeah, well, oh well. Funny thing is, I just got my car detailed too, right when it happened. Oh, got it all shined up, cleaned up for the lady. No, I'm just kidding. And yeah, came flying around a turn and smashed into me. But hippocampus, again, present and past memories. All right, amygdala. Okay, amygdala. These are the bulbs that branch off the hippocampus. Okay, these are like little bulbs that branch off the hippocampus. Okay, and this relates memory and emotion. So the biggest thing is just with feelings of pleasure. Okay, feelings of pleasure. So happiness. Okay, and this controls the release of dopamine, different hormones that allows us to feel this emotion, feel this happiness, feel this anxiety, this pleasure seeking. I guess you could say principle in a way. So amygdala, feelings of pleasure, happiness, controls the hormones released within our body. Right, TC, when you score a touchdown, you get the butterflies a little bit, you get all jittery, you get all happy, you're pumped up. Nah, it happens a lot, so you're just used to it, right? Yeah. Spiking the ball down. I guess you weren't too happy with those Bills losing, huh? Man, did you see that?
Yeah.
Wow, what was Tori saying about that? Was she upset? Oh, did she?
And I can't say that loud.
Oh, okay. Yeah, don't. I'm guessing she was a little upset. I was watching Barstool, and the president of Barstool, Dave Portnoy, put 50 grand down, and he's just sitting there like this. I looked at all his friends. It was so funny. But yeah, amygdala, feelings of pleasure. Okay. There is still a little case where we understand that it deals with memories and some sort of recollection. But for the most part, it's our feelings, it's our happiness. It releases hormones for us to feel anxious, pleasure, whatever it might be. All right, hypothalamus. Okay, the hypothalamus is right here, guys. It kind of branches off the thalamus, like I said before, and like I mentioned, the limbic system wraps around that brainstem, and the hypothalamus is just analyzing blood flow. Okay, regulates body temperature, fluid levels, and nutrients. So the hypothalamus, the thalamus, very similar functions, and the hypothalamus is kind of located right at the top of the brainstem. Go figure, right? Okay, it has very similar functions of what the thalamus does. So it detects an imbalance, tells your body how to respond. So especially when we get to close to the sixth period, I have third lunch. Oh my gosh, always so hungry. Does anybody else have third lunch? Oh, how about it? Are you guys starving by that time? I am, that's for sure. And that's kind of what the hypothalamus, what that regulates and what that controls. Dom, what's up? Borrow my charger. All right. Yeah, I guess so. Come on up. As long as it's making your amygdala go happy, okay, that's fine. I'm just kidding, Dom. All right, here we go. There you go, sir.
Thank you very
Yep.
much.
There you go. So feeling thirsty or hungry, right? Okay, I'm feeling parched at the end of the night. I shouldn't say thirsty. Yeah, so feeling parched at the end of the night there, it's like, oh, I gotta get some water or something like that. That happens to me a lot lately. Oh my gosh, I'm so thirsty. So thirsty. All right, so hypothalamus, reward centers, okay, so for the most part, just understand that the hypothalamus branches off of that brainstem. It's really connecting the limbic system, the midbrain from the brainstem, and its basic functions are like the thalamus with body heat, okay, blood pressure, breathing, and just understanding when we need to try to regulate our body when we're hungry or thirsty. Okay, those are its main functions. But as a whole, the midbrain, okay, it's really just memory and emotion. Memory and emotion. So remember those basic parts, okay? Remember those, the basic functions of the limbic system, the midbrain, and know that it's like that inner bladder that connects to that brainstem. So the brainstem comes up, that inner bladder, the limbic system, okay, and then the cerebral cortex, which we'll talk about tomorrow, kind of branches up on top, okay? Is there any questions on that? So again, the brain is really hard to study. Even though with the technology we have today, we kind of understand that these are the basic have some sort of memory and emotion built in the cerebral cortex, which we'll talk about tomorrow. It's, again, still a big question mark of what functions are located where in the brain and where it's processed in the brain. But I think we narrowed it down to where we have a good shot and good knowledge of where this actually happens in the brain. Okay, again, we'll talk about cerebral cortex tomorrow. I don't think we'll be able to do the orange brain surgery. We'll see. We'll see. Hopefully we can. I'll let you guys know. If anything, I'll get the items and I'll just surprise you one day with it. But with everything going on, we're going to try to refrain from getting close to each other and doing these sort of things. So we'll see. All right. I had a video for you. Oh, I'll play it for you. It's only 2 minutes. My favorite videos is 2-minute neuroscience videos. And then I'll get you working on your activity, your graphic organizer. So have that done for tomorrow, folks at home. Check out the video, and there we go. See